What's good, people? This is the Rap Roundtable. Your boy Jarv here, Sincere the Rap Snob, Dini the Balance, the homie Mace. We just want to make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, comment, help us get our numbers up. We're trying to get 2,000 subs, 5,000. Y'all know how this go. If y'all think we're good and y'all love the content, some of y'all always say, yo, how come y'all don't have more views? It's because y'all don't sub. So make sure y'all do that and tap in with us. Peace.
The Rap Roundtable.
Benny the Butcher finally delivered Tana Talk 4, one of the most anticipated albums of the year. We're only in March. So I guess I could scale it and say the most anticipated album of the first quarter. And, you know, the internet is talking. So, of course, the Rap Roundtable has to do our due diligence to talk about it. It's your boy Jarv here alongside Sincere the Rap Snob, alongside Dini the Balance. Mace can't be with us because he has a job, and his job is telling him he got to work. He can't talk about rap.
But, fuck them jobs.
You know what I mean? So I'm tired of working. Yo, can y'all run this video up so I can quit? You know what I mean? But listen, thanks. I'm happy that Benny dropped.
Yes,
the internet seems to be. They seem happy from what I've seen. I don't know if
they're buzzing
differently.
Yeah. They're buzzing.
But Sincere, the Griselda aficionado that you are, this might be the most anticipated Griselda release to date. So what are your thoughts on this?
Sounds about right, 4? Man. Listen, yeah, you might be right with that most anticipated Griselda. Now, when I first heard about it, I thought this was going to be his Def Jam debut, but it's not, right? So this is like almost like a teaser into the Def Jam era of his career, right? The Tana Talk projects, especially Tana Talk 3, carry a lot of weight. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of expectations as to how dope this was going to be. And I liked it. I'm not going to say I loved it, but I liked it. I thought the first half was really, really strong. I think it kind of wavered on the second half. I think Johnny P's Caddy, everybody loves that song. It's a dope song. It's done its numbers. It got him his first, chart placement. That's fire. So putting that first is a great move. But like I said about the Conway project, I'm not big on having a feature as your first song on the project. That should be you setting the tone for your album.
Okay.
I have a lot of notes here, but I'm gonna keep it light for right now. Stove God on Back Two Times. Hit it out crazy. I have to apologize to Derringer because his beats on this album it surprised me because coming from the Conway album, his beats was not the ones that I loved the most on that album, but on this album he did his thing. Maybe he was saving his beats for the Benny project, who knows? But Derringer did his thing, Alchemist did his thing, the soul sample on Weekends, track 4, crazy, leading up to 10 More Commandments. Bro, different. 10 More Commandments?
Fire.
Different.
Absolutely the stellar highlight of this album, right?
No question.
Then track 6 with Conway, I love their chemistry going back to back. That was fire. But like I said, after track 6, because it's 12 songs, after track 6, that's the halfway point. I don't know, it kind of started wavering a little bit. So, yeah, I'm a little half and half on the project right now.
All right, Dini, what are your thoughts on Tana Talk 4, man?
I got a lot of thoughts, actually. First of all, when I said last time that Derringer was saving the heat for the Conway, I was like, nah, there's no way he's saving it. Apparently he was saving it. Because we heard here. And secondly, to Sin's point from last time, Derringer kind of was the weakest link on the album, even though his beats were better on this project. I thought the song with Stove God was fire. I thought the beat was a little lacklustery, could have been a little more effort in there. 10 More Crack Commandments. What more can I say? Tyson versus Ali with Conway, where they actually, I feel like they were having a conversation with us a little bit as far as the whole, who's better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Super Plug was heat. Weekends at Perry's. Another thing from Sensei. I liked it as it got further along. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of bugged out because I thought certain joints was heat. Alchemist actually got a little, not Alchemist, Derringer got better towards the end, I felt. Alchemist really, yeah.
I think Alchemist, but okay. That's why.
Teach his own.
For people.
Alchemist shined beautifully on this project. I think he was the game changer for this, and I think Benny should do a lot more with Alchemist. Not that he shouldn't do more with Derringer, but a lot more with Alchemist, because everything with Alchemist was beautiful. 38 Special, I love the song with 38 Special. I can't hold you. I thought 38 Special did his thing. Boldy Black. I thought having Diddy on 10 Crack Commandments was like genius. Yeah, man, I love the album.
I mean, I can't complain about it. Like I don't love 10 More Commandments as much as you guys do.
Ooh.
For me, Super Plug is my shit. Like I love Super Plug. Like Super Plug moved me. I felt like Alchemist was in his bag on that beat. I felt like that like whatever, like when Benny was posting on IG and the socials about this album is gonna be album of the year, it was after he recorded Super Plug. Like that record right there is immaculate to me.
Tough.
I lyrically, performance wise, Benny has certainly gotten better. We got
no question.
If the Def Jam debut is gonna be like this, we might have to raise the stakes even more for what Benny the Butcher can be, because right now there was a clear delineation as far as Conway and Benny the Butcher, as far as who's better. I know they talked about it on the tape, but this is the reality when you're together. There's always going to be these conversations. To me, Benny is closing the gap between himself and Conway, and this project shows that.
Facts.
The features, I loved it. The only feature that I didn't love, and it's not because the verse wasn't good, was West Side's verse. Just when West was leaning in on that, the verse ended, and I'm like, whoa, wait. That's it? I looked at the track, the time of the track. Wait, it's done?
Flow was crazy.
He found the pocket. He was hitting the melody with the flow beautifully, and then the verse was done. I'm like, damn, Wes. You know, it was dope to see on Tyson versus Ali to get a Conway and Benny without. Anytime Conway and Benny could get together without West Side, I love that. Like, you know, we get the three of them together, we get into two. Nah, because it's like
no slander. Let's be clear.
No slander, but just to get the two all-world spitters together, trading bars as rap fans, that's the type of shit that we live for. It's no disrespect to West Side, but he'll say it himself. I can't rap like them.
West Side's the glue. He the glue.
Yeah, he's Draymond.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To me, that's Steph, Clay, and Draymond. That's the Griselda 3. At first, when Stove God came off of the chorus, like it was a little unorthodox and it threw me off. I'm like, what is this? But then when I caught what he was doing, I was like, oh, okay, Stove. You know what I mean? Then the verse came through, delivered it. I wanted another verse. I think that is my biggest peeve from this project, and I think I talked about it on not Tana Talk 4. What was it? Bugs I Met Too. We need a third verse. Like you keep giving us these two.
That's what everything.
Them days are over.
Everything, man.
Oh my God! And
the better the song, so the less verses.
That you want to hear more rap on these beats. And it's like you're only giving me two verses. It's like it felt like I went to a fancy restaurant and I got the tasting menu. I didn't get a full meal. I was getting a little bit of everything. I want more bars. I want more music.
I still hold on to the notion that Johnny P's Caddy should have had a third verse. Yeah. Then he should have come back after Cole and said, Cole, that's what you did? I'm gonna show you what I do.
The internet culture makes it so difficult to do that though, because as soon as he drops the verse, he only did that because he got he on the record. You know what I mean? You can't even rap no more.
And you can't deny it either. That's just what it would be.
Just a couple of details that I loved about this album. One, Alchemist bringing back his tag.
Yes.
His producer tag. As soon as I hear that, I'm like, I'm in for some heat. Right? Soul Sample Alchemist, which is not an Alchemist that we get very often, but like you said, Weekend in Paris with Boldy James, that shit is beautiful. Soul Sample Alchemist.
Boldy underrated.
Yeah.
Boldy, we gotta talk about Boldy some more, man.
Benny gave him his props too. Shout out to Benny giving him his props.
Facts. And of course, you know, because of just my ear, I'm always paying attention to the mixing and mastering and the levels. Make sure that, you know, the gloss or the sheen is put on top of it. And this album absolutely delivered sonically. Yeah. Even the Derringer beats that on the Conway album sounded kind of like low and muddy. On here, I don't know who the engineer was, but like them shits blossomed. Like it was a different story, yo.
It makes me question the budget for these projects. It's clearly there's more bread going funneling through the Benny the Butcher projects right now.
And that's a conversation that I hope we can have one sometime soon on the pod, because I've been thinking about that for a while. Like, we grew up when these labels was throwing wild money on artists, and they had this budget to like get the premier studio engineers to finish off the album, make sure that all the sonics were on point, were right to the level that we deserve to hear. It being March and everything, I was just listening to Life After Death, and I was like, oh bro, these sonics, oh my God.
R.I.P. Big.
We don't get that as much anymore because the budgets aren't there. A lot of these artists are independent. They can't get the A1 engineer in the industry, you know what I mean? And even when they do have a budget, the budget is not as big as it used to be. So at the end, it's like, some cuts got to be made. So
also, like the email era, being that guys are not in the rooms together, we just sending it back and forth. So it's like it's not like you got the artist
chemistry.
It ain't like Hov is with Guru telling Guru I want it to sound like this, I want it to sound like that. You sending it back and forth. You're not getting that real conversation to get the sonics the way you want it to sound.
I was watching the Kanye documentary. He was talking about that too. Like, they was telling him, yo, just send the track to the artist. He was like, nah, we got to work together in the same room.
That's
so
the
we
right
can see
way.
eye to eye. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
So can we get into the actual content now? First of all, ladies and gentlemen, we're sidewalk niggas. Now I'm saying, let me explain to that. We follow the codes of the sidewalk. But the way this album was given, the street, just the pure knowledge of street gems tucked away in this album, bro. Like, this is almost like a hustler's manual in a small way.
Fact.
There's a lot. Not saying you should, but there's a lot to download.
We're not
there.
condoning anything.
We're not condoning anything. There we go. But there's a lot to learn on how to maneuver in certain aspects of business from this album. I thought it was very laid out. It was almost like a masterclass in a little way. You dig? But
yeah.
He's one of the best at doing that right now.
Here's the thing. I feel like we almost take that for granted at this point from Benny, because we just expect that level of not just bars but jewels, street jewels from him already. But yeah, man, I was listening to this and I was like, again, it's like going back to 10 More Commandments. I was like, oh, this nigga like really dropping like life experience jewels.
Literally the 10 that Biggie forgot, literally.
Bro.
I like that he continuously paid homage to Big too throughout those 10 more. We talk about like TED Talks and all of that. Is that what TED Talk essentially is?
It has to be, bro.
Because it's like I don't class. Know if he's not calling it a concept album, but it sure felt like a concept album. Like everything to Dini's point about street tales, the do's and the don'ts. There was no radio record on this project. This whole front to back was the do's and don'ts of being a coke dealer. If you want, the braggadocious drug dealer moving every brick on earth, you got Pusha T for that. But if you want like, if you want like the war report, like the people in Ukraine right now who are reporting it on the ground right now, that's Benny the Butcher. He is on the ground, taking you right there, kind of like Hov, 99 Hov to his point. This is what it is. This is what it looks like. This is what it smells like. This is what it feels like. This is what you should do if you want to survive. You know what I mean? And I appreciated him not calling it a concept tape, but staying on message from track 1 to track 12. We don't get that anymore. It'd be so many verses where it's just like, this verse don't even belong on this track. It's just a feature for the sake of a feature. Everything delivered its role.
The most conceptualized, unconceptualized album I probably heard in a long time.
That's the thing I appreciate so much about Benny is the focus of the bars, the focus of the rhymes and the verses. Like, not necessarily with like a beginning to end narrative, but it's always about like, you could always point to like a real life situation and apply a Benny verse to it. You know what I mean? That's what people appreciate so much about Jay, about Hov. Like I see it on Twitter all the time. Like, like people apply a Jay-Z bar to a situation and somebody's like, there's always a Jay-Z bar. to apply
Shout out to Kevin Gates.
to a life situation. And I feel like you know, on a you know, not as grand a scale, on a lower scale, but Benny kind of fits that that aesthetic as well. Also, I want to know the the last joint had some redacted bars.
Yo,
they were redacted.
What was that about?
I need to know what those redacted
I'm not gonna lie, fellas.
lines are.
I immediately thought he was talking about Shady. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, but it sure felt like he was talking about not taking that deal with Shady or whatever deal he had on the table. But I'm gonna assume it was Shady.
I gotta go back and listen
how
to
you
it.
get a clean version on a dirty album?
It's day one. I've only listened to it once time, so I gotta spin it back.
Hey, but I think, fellas, we can stop here because we're gonna do the full breakdown on episode 42 of the Rap Roundtable. We just had to react because the people who follow the pod know that we've been waiting on this tape. We've been talking about this tape since New Year's Day, so we've been waiting on it. If you want the rating, we're gonna give you the rating on the episode. But for right now, I think unanimously we think it's fire, no?
Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot.
Dope.
Episode 42 on the way. Episode 41 is out now. Fuck with us, tap in. We are on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all the socials. Tap in, subscribe. Do us a favor if you subscribe to our Apple, give us a 5-star rating as well. It helps us get more eyeballs and chart placements as we build this thing out. Tap in with us, fellas. Peace.